Good evening. I'm Dr. Lena Wen. I'm the Baltimore City Health Commissioner, and I'm delighted to welcome you all, including the Honorable Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, Dr. Rebecca Landa, Ms. Wilson, and everyone here in attendance. Welcome. Today is a special day. It is World Autism Awareness Day, and we are here to recognize the millions of families affected by autism. Autism is a developmental disorder that affects as many as 1 in 60 children in the US and in Maryland. It is complex, it is life-changing, and it affects so many of us, our neighbors, our friends' children, and our children. We are here today to recognize World Autism Awareness Day and Autism Awareness Month. Today, Baltimore is honored to once again participate in Light It Up Blue. This is an international campaign that was launched by a group called Autism Speaks and involves having hundreds of iconic landmarks and buildings turn their lights blue in April. As a doctor, as the city's doctor, I am proud to take part in this initiative to raise awareness of autism. We need more research. We need more education. We need more initiatives like this one so that we can be one step closer to finding the answers and helping families that are most affected by this disorder. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Mayor Rawlings-Blake for her leadership in the city, for recognizing the challenges faced by families of children with autism, and also the work of organizations like Kennedy Krieger who support these families and children. So let me thank then, and also take this opportunity to introduce you to our next speaker, who's Dr. Rebecca Landa, the Director of the Center for Autism and Related Disorders at Kennedy Krieger Institute. Dr. Landa?
Thank you, Dr. Wen, and thank you, Mayor Rawlings-Blake, and also to Ms. Wilson for coming out tonight, and to all of you. I'm so thrilled to be here tonight and really proud to represent Kennedy Krieger Institute and to come before you on behalf of individuals with autism and their family members. I'm personally committed to raising awareness for autism spectrum disorders so that we can pull together as a community to remove the barriers that block the ability of people with autism to reach their full potential and highest quality of life. Kennedy Krieger Institute Center for Autism has been working for the past 20 years to develop new interventions, means of diagnosing, and innovative insights into the causes of autism. We're also working to train professionals in the community to use the newest and latest and greatest interventions for people with autism, and to increase the public awareness of autism and understanding of autism. This month, an Autism Awareness Month, we have some special events going on at Kennedy Krieger. One of them is our annual fundraiser, Roar for Autism, on April 26th. And also we have free trainings and a wonderful lecture coming up on April 7th. It's free. Please look us up at autism.kennedykrieger.org. And also, I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart, thank people with autism for persevering and teaching all of us that we cannot judge a book by a cover, and also to help us to understand how you face each day with so much courage. And I just want to thank you all for all I've learned from you. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Ms. Wilson.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm honored to be here this evening. I was asked to speak to you all briefly about what it's like to be the parent of an autistic child. I thought I might talk to you all about what it was like for our introduction to autism. Now, I can only offer you the perspective of my family and our journey, but I feel confident that it mirrors that of so many others caring for and raising a child on the spectrum. For us, it went a little something like this. One day, we were living very ordinary lives. My husband and I had careers that we both loved. We had just bought a cute little house with a yard and a dog, and we had a healthy little boy who was just starting to talk. He used to point out airplanes in the sky as they flew overhead. And he was social and happy, and then one day he just wasn't. He no longer looked at us in the face. He no longer wanted to be cuddled, and he no longer played with toys. He just wasn't the same little boy. And then one day your husband gives up the job that he loves, working in the deputy commissioner's office, and takes a position on patrol working the midnight shift so that he can be available during the day to take your son to therapy. And he spends his day sleeping in the car because it's over an hour's drive each way. And I'm working 6 days a week to pay for therapy that isn't universally covered by insurance here in Maryland. And you find yourself writing letter after letter to insurance carriers, trying to explain to them that autism is a lifelong diagnosis. You're researching things like feeding clinics, melatonin, gluten, casein, weighted blankets, essential oils, music therapy, water therapy, ABA therapy. You're interviewing BCBAs and trying to find in-network OTs, SLPs. You're writing letters to your senators and your congressmen, begging for legislative reform, so that one day you can write less letters and attend fewer IEP meetings, and that your child can have access to the services they so desperately need. It's a lot. It's overwhelming, really. And for so many families, this is how they suddenly find themselves navigating the world of autism. I consider myself lucky because our family found its way to Kennedy Krieger very early in our autism journey, and they helped us process that overwhelming amount of initial information. We are very lucky to have a resource like Kennedy Krieger right here. Many family travels hundreds of miles just to get a diagnosis. KKI was the first place that showed us that our son can learn, and they trained us as parents. I will forever be grateful to Kennedy Krieger because it was there that my son's long but hopeful road to recovery began. In closing, I'd like to speak to my fellow autism parents for just a minute and share with them a little hope that a social worker gave to us. And I think when my husband and I dropped ourselves down in Ellie's chairs, our faces wrought with desperation and exhaustion, and he looked at us and he said, "Hey guys, autism's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So pace yourself. Continue to be the great parents that you are. Continue to advocate for your child, and believe one day you'll get there. Different is not less. Different is just different." Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much to Ms. Wilson for sharing your story and inspiring us all with your courageous words. I am delighted to introduce now our leader of our city, Mayor Rawlings-Blake. Now, I just want to say one word about our mayor, that I feel very lucky, very fortunate every single day to be working with a mayor who understands the importance of health in everything that we do, and who takes leadership on all the difficult issues that are facing our city and our nation. Mayor Rawlings-Blake.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nguyen, and it is an honor for me to be here with all of you. I see we have our friends from, we have Deputy Commissioner, Rodriguez, who is here, representing the police department, so thank you for being here as a great partner. And I want to thank Dr. Nguyen for her amazing leadership of the health department and I want to thank all of the teammates at the health department for working to make this event possible. I also want to take a second to thank Ms. Wilson for having the courage to share her story. There's one thing to talk about autism, in sort of in abstract. If it's not something that is personal to you, I can talk about statistics. I can talk about why it's important that we're here. But to have Ms. Wilson come and give her story, to give her testimony in a way that only someone who has lived through it can do, I think adds to the significance of why we are here and why we are lighting up our City Hall. And I want to thank Dr. Landa, who through her hoarse throat, I know that this year I heard that you were a little under the weather, so it means even more that you are here as well. Thank you for all that you do. I'm honored to be here with all of you to light City Hall blue in recognition of the Maryland families and families around the country who are impacted by autism. As you have heard from Dr. Wen, autism affects 1 in 60 children across the state of Maryland, and this event and many others throughout April aim to promote understanding of this complex disorder. Families come from all over the country to seek help from the experts that we are blessed to have, the experts that do their work at Kennedy Krieger. And we are so very fortunate to have Kennedy Krieger Institute home to one of the nation's largest autism centers right here in Baltimore. And we're thankful for their commitment that extends beyond their walls and into our communities. Through the work of the organizations like Kennedy Krieger, we will advance the research and provide support, crucial support to families. I would now like to ask Dr. Landa to come up for a proclamation that I would like to give. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna to read it all, but I want you to accept on behalf of Kennedy Krieger with an understanding of the significant gratitude that I have for your work and all of the work that's being done from Kennedy Krieger. Those who deal with autism and the other needs that you serve at Kennedy Krieger know what a jewel Kennedy Krieger is and how blessed we are to have it here in Baltimore. And I often say to my friends at Kennedy Krieger, you could help me, you could build my 10,000 families that I'm trying to grow a Baltimore family just from the families that are coming to take advantage of Kennedy Krieger and those families that don't want to leave because of Kennedy Krieger. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. So, the lights that you see shining on City Hall will shine the bright lights for millions of children and families affected by autism. So I am very pleased to have this, I think it's almost matching my ensemble today. I tried to get a nice color of blue, and I'm sure it'll turn deep, it will appear deeper as the night goes on. But I want to thank all of you for being here and for representing those families that need the support that you need and that they're able to get at Kennedy Krieger. And it's my pleasure that we are a part of the national effort to light it up blue.